Boy, did I miss my intro in that last video. Okay, well, I'm not gonna miss it this time. This is the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. This is I-80 in Nebraska, and yes, let me see, I'm not 100%, but I took a moment to try to scrape off some of them bug guts. I think what's happening is that these bugs know that I'm a content creator, and they sacrifice their lives smashing themselves up against my windshield in order to get that 15 minutes of fame. Butter. Well, they're getting the fame, but I guess they get to watch that on the other side. And yes, no gum this time. Boy, the professor heard that thing and let me know. Yeah, so the bugs are probably in bug heaven, in insect heaven, looking down, saying, yeah, that content creator right there, he's all right with us. He's giving us our fame. I don't think I'm giving him any fame on this one, because I went ahead and cleaned that window up as much as I could. See, some drivers do their window cleaning while they're doing their pre-trip inspection, when they got their hood open and they can stand up on whatever they can stand on that will support their body weight, like their tire or something else. Maybe it all depends. If you're doing your pre-trip, your engine isn't all hot, but if you've been driving for a while, the engine is hot. If you plan on flipping over that hood and stepping on something close to the engine, you might get burned. So I did this cleaning job after I've been driving for a while, so there was no hood getting popped open. So we truck drivers at the truck stops have these squeegees on long sticks so that you can reach as far as you can. And it's kind of tough because that old dried insect gut is hard to clean off. That thing becomes like cement. Putin went ahead and launched missiles at a U.S. facility, U.S. factory in the western part of Ukraine, far from where the conflict has been, which is on the east side of Ukraine. And it was a U.S. facility. Have any of y'all heard about that? I have heard about that on the news, but I only heard the part about Putin attacking it. I haven't heard anything about what the administration... I haven't heard anything from the administration, to be honest with you. Am I missing something? Did y'all hear about that? Did y'all hear a response from the administration yet? Maybe after the video goes up, there might be a response. But so far, and it didn't happen today. It might have happened either yesterday or 2 days ago, but still no response. Now, it made me think about my days in elementary school, or how some people refer to it as grade school. I remember in grade school / elementary school, when we, the students, were either in the courtyard of the school or the playground of the school, it'd be either early in the morning before school started or during lunch or during some kind of recess or something. We would all be in that area and we would all be in each other's line of sight. Some students participated in some athletic stuff that they were doing. Could have been kickball, dodgeball, basketball, football, whatever. But everybody was able to see everybody else from where they were at. Now, if a student were to get slapped or punched or kicked or something, that would draw everybody's attention. And we would all be looking, waiting to see what was going to happen. We were waiting to see if something was going to jump off. But here's the thing. And I would imagine this is the same in all hoods. If somebody were to get assaulted, hit, whatever, everybody was expecting a response. Everybody. If the person that got hit didn't respond, man, there'd be a few people walking over to that person and asking them, "You're not gonna do anything? You're just gonna stand there and allow yourself to get hit like that?" Right? Instigating a response. And now the person knows they got a tough choice. If they don't respond, what usually used to happen in the schools that I attended, those bystanders that were asking that question, "Are you not going to fight back?" Well, they took it upon themselves to start pummeling that person, beating the breakfast out of them. Yes, the other students weren't standing for that. You were going to defend yourself whether you liked it or not. You let that person hit you like that? And you ain't going to do nothing? Oh, man. Yeah, you were going to have a bigger problem. And then I thought about this one event. They gave it a code name, I think. It was crazy. It occurred in Syria. And Syrian soldiers were on their way to a Conoco facility across a river into a U.S. occupied oil area, oil field, oil refinery. I don't remember what it was. But you had that Russian mercenary group accompanying the Syrian soldiers that were going to go over to that refinery or oil field that was under U.S. protection. They were going to go over there and snatch it up. And it's the Wagner group. That's the name of the mercenaries, the Russian mercenaries. Now, They try to claim that they're an independent mercenary group that's for hire, but the reality is that they are under the Russian government control. Which is, it makes for a sticky situation right there. But these dudes, now understand that the U.S. military and the Russian military, they have a direct line of communications. They do this to avoid a major conflict. So this Russian mercenary group, the Wagner group, along with the Syrians, they were approaching that Conoco facility, but they started hurling rockets and whatnot at the facility. Whoever was in charge of that U.S. protected facility started making phone calls, and the person at the other end was basically denying any knowledge of what was going on. Because remember, the U.S. based person in charge was contacting the Russian liaison or whoever it was, but they were claiming ignorance, like they didn't know what was going on, only to later on discover that they knew exactly what was going on. But they were denying that they knew, and I don't remember who the president was then, but because the Syrians and the Wagner group went ahead and opened fire on this U.S. protected facility without provocation. In other words, the U.S. soldiers, they didn't provoke anything. They were just doing their job. Protecting that facility. Okay, so it didn't work out too well for the Syrians and the Wagner group. They got smoked like a sausage, y'all. They got destroyed. The response from the U.S. was, I don't even know how to describe it, but what I can tell you is that there were areas on the sand that were converted to glass, literally, from the heat, from the blast, because these guys, the U.S. came at them with all kinds of stuff. From drones to fighter jets. And there's a recorded intercept communication between one of the members of Wagner and whoever he had to report to. They were just absolutely devastated. Casualties on the American side, 0. On the Syrian and Wagner side, 2. I'm telling you. So now we got a case where the Russians actually sent missiles, and not only that, and drones. And here's the crazy part: it's on the western side of Ukraine. They had to cross the borders of another country. They had to cross the airspace of another country, of Poland, and one other country. I forget which one it is. I haven't heard a peep out of this administration. Maybe they want to keep it on the down low or something. That's fine. But there are no reports of any response to that attack. No report. I'm trying to remember as best I can. On the at that Conoco facility. Yeah. I'm trying my best. I can't even remember the year that thing went down. If I can remember the year, I'll know who the president was, but whoever it was, they weren't having it. They got smoked. Yeah, I'm sorry about was it? Nah, I don't. In any event, what's going on with this one attack? Are they trying to keep that thing, like, what's up with that? Because now you got some people scratching their heads wondering what's going on with this relationship with Putin and Trump. What's going on? I suspected something like this was going to happen. These people, these outsiders interfering with our elections are playing. I believe they're playing with fire, or they were playing with fire, and they were going to get burned. They were going to get burned. Trump is all about Trump. Trump will smile and say nice things to you. But somebody like Putin is not in a good position to be playing footsies with Trump. He's not. He is the great manipulator. And at some point in time, the people around Trump are gonna let Trump know, this guy's playing you, man. At some point in time, they're going to let him know. For whatever reason, it could be just because they know Trump's personality and know what would happen if something truly, well, a few things that are considered embarrassing with regards to the relationship between Trump and Putin. But the people around Trump know that if it's something so devastatingly obvious, they know how he's going to respond. So his people, Trump's people, they got to figure out a way to get into his head and let him know, hey, this dude is... And once that light bulb goes off and Trump comes to the understanding that yeah, Putin is playing him, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for Putin. It's a wrap for Putin. It's gonna be rough for him. That relationship has changed a little bit. The relationship between Trump and Putin has changed. But he's still not all the way dealing with Putin the way he should be dealing with him. Not yet. I don't know if it's because Trump's got something up his sleeve, because Trump is all about that money. So there's a good chance that there's something in the mix there where he can get maximum profit out of this dude. For himself, of course. We're not... It's got nothing to do with us, the citizens. But there might be something there. It might be his angle. Let's see. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to pay attention to that bombing of that facility in Ukraine, that American facility in Ukraine, to see if there's an outcry or whatever. See what kind of motivation is if this serves as motivation at all. Let's see. This should prove to be interesting. If there's a military response, listen, on behalf of the U.S., all I can say to that is I'm an investor. And I'll let you guys figure out what I mean by that. But I am an investor. So all y'alls, stay fresh and keep it profitable. Hey Kitty, take all these people over to safety.
Arabam Dacia, seviyorum çift kalem aça. Göremedi kimseden fayda. İşler